Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us this evening. Hope everybody is doing safe and sound. So it's 4 o'clock now. Let's wait for 5 more minutes for everybody else to join and then begin today's session. Hi, everybody. Uh, I think it's time we begin the session. So once again, thank you for joining. I am Pranita Suri, product specialist, and today I would be walking you through the leave management system we have. And along with me, we have Javed on chat. So in case you have any question during the presentation, you can just drop us a line and we'll try to address your queries as well. Right? So let's begin the session. So today's session is going to be extremely interesting because we would be talking about leaves, right? I think one of the very first question when a new employee joins the company, they ask is, how many leaves do I get? Right? How many leaves and how many can I apply? Correct? So no matter how simple your leave plan is or how exhaustive it is important for us, for employers, to convey it right to the employee so that they understand and it's easier for both the parties to manage leaves. So in today's session, let's walk through the leave management system we have in Keka, understand how many leave types we have, how to add them to a certain specific plan, and configure an entire leave settings. All right. So I will share my screen. Uh, just please confirm once you are able to view it. Is my screen visible? Yes, no, maybe. All right. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. Yes. Let's begin. So configuring plans and leave types. So the path to navigate would be, so this is how your Keka portal dashboard will look like. And you will have to navigate to time attend and leave plans. So under leave plans, we have three sections: leave plans, leave types, and initial adjustment. Before we add leave plan, we need to understand what are leave types. So leave types are nothing but all those eligible leaves that an employee can apply. So in our system already, we have certain types of leaves configured by default, be it bereavement leave, casual leave, comp off, maternity, paternity, paid leave, sick leave, to name a few. But besides these leaves, if you have a certain specific leave you want to add it, then please click on add leave type. Here, let's create a leave type today. Let's call it webinar leave, right? Webinar leave. Yeah. If only we had a leave for webinars as well, right? So let's call it webinar leave and WL. Okay. Now, you can give a description as well. Now, show leave description while applying for leave. So when an employee is applying for leave, if you want them to see the description, then you can just check this or you can uncheck this. Now, this is an important question. Is this a paid leave? So paid leave is something the employee can avail, right? It's not loss of pay, to be very straight and specific. So it's a paid leave. Then is this a sick leave? So we do have certain sick leave, right? In that case, you can just check this option. Is this a statutory leave? So statutory leave is that leave, for example, leaves like maternity, paternity, bereavement, statutory leave, which as per the norms, an employee is entitled to get in their tenuity. Such leaves come under statutory leave. And these are certain leave restriction. If you want to restrict for a particular gender, for example, only female have maternity leave, right? And male can have paternity leave. So if such restrictions can be given here. And yeah, depending on the marital status also, we can restrict leave. We have something called list of reasons. List of reason is nothing but while applying for leave, if you want employees to specify any reason, then in that case, you can just keep adding and they can choose it. Okay, so we have created something called a webinar leave today with the code WL. It's a paid leave. Okay, so we have added, this is how we can create a new leave type. Okay, we have to assign this leave type to a plan. So to create a leave plan, we have to navigate to leave plans and click on add leave plan. The moment you click on add leave plan, right, it'll ask you, it'll prompt you to add a name for it. Again, you can have multiple leave plans. Say, for example, maybe you have management level people working on a, having certain different or additional leave types, or for people in, contract basis, or you may have your set of employees, right? If leave plan varies from people to groups to group, in that case you can create multiple leave plans and assign the leave types accordingly. So today let's create webinar leave plan and leave calendar year start date. So I want to start it in January. So my leave calendar year becomes January to December. Then show leave policy explanation generated by Keka. Otherwise, upload custom leave policy document. So if you have a specific document which you want to upload it here, then that also can be, it's possible. You can just upload your document and you can save this. So we have created a leave plan. I'll just save this. Okay. But we haven't configured anything yet. We just created a plan. So the next step would be to assign certain leave types, but whichever is applicable to this plan. So to do that, we will have to click on these three dots and click on assign leave types. So here I have a list of all the leaves that are available. So these are all the leave types I have in the system. So whatever is applicable in this leave plan, you can just select. So I've selected webinar leave, which we have just created. I want sick leave, maternity, paternity, paid leave, and float leave and bereavement leave. Similarly, if whatever you think is applicable, you can just select how many ever leaves you have here, and you can just click on adding the, just save the leave type. So we have all the leaves that are selected here. All right, now we'll have to set a leave up. So for setting a leave up, so what does it mean to, set up a leave? When a leave type is created, that's not the end of it, right? We have to define what all constitutes in that leave, and all the rules and restrictions and clauses, and first and foremost being how many leaves, that is the quota, and whether or not they can avail it, or is it earned at a certain specific frequency, or can they have it all at once. All these have to be configured in leave setup. So there are 7 steps in which a leave can be set up. So let's walk through in detail in all these 7 steps. But before we begin, I'll just give a very short and quick overview of all of these. The first says leave quota. As it is self-explanatory, we are basically defining how many leaves are we allotting. How many leaves are we allotting in this specific leave type? Okay. Next is leave accrual. Accrual is nothing but at what interval will employee get this leave, right? Is it do I get this leave once a month, the first day of the month, or when do I get this leave? Say I have 12 leaves, am I getting all 12 at once, or is it one per month? So that is, all of that can be configured. And does this accrual vary depending on my seniority? All of that can be configured in leave accrual. Applying for leave. So applying for leave will have all the clauses, like can I apply for a half day, and how soon can I apply? Can I apply on the same day? All these questions employees come up and ask us, right? Urgently, I want to go for a leave today in the morning. 8 o'clock we get a message. So is that possible? Can we do that? All of that can be set here. And leave restrictions. So when applying for the leave, are there any certain restrictions or rules that are to be followed? That can be put here. And leave sandwiching. So we are all very well aware of what sandwiching is, right? Leave sandwiching also can be configured here. And next is leave approval. That is setting up an approval chain. And the last step is year end. So what happens at the end of the year? What happens with these leaves at the end of the year? So these are the 7 steps. So let's walk through these steps in detail. Okay, the first, what is the annual quota? So here today we are trying to configure paid leave for this webinar leave plan. So I want to give 24 per year. Okay, the moment we select unlimited, right, employee will get unlimited leave balance. They can apply. Next, can employee apply for leave in the year it is being accrued or credited? Okay, it's a very important setting. So what this basically means is that, say I joined on 1st of January 2021. Okay, means I am entitled to get 24 leaves in that year. Now, do you have a policy where, because I am, these leaves are credited in this year, can I avail it this year? Or the moment we select no, employee cannot apply for the leave, it is being accrued or credited, then they cannot use these leaves. Okay. So yes means the 24 leaves which I'm getting in this year, I will be able to apply and use them. Next, can an employee apply for leave beyond the annual quota? Got it. So this means the limit we put here is 24, correct? So is the employee restricted, to taking 24 leaves, or can they go a little? Can they go, if I put here more than 6 leaves, no, but not exceeding 6 days in the year, which means I can go up to 30 days. But my quota is 24. But I will be able to apply for 6 more days. Okay, that's what it means. Now, no leave quota is allotted in the joining month if the employee joins after what day of the month. So this typically means, say an employee is joining on the 25th of the month. Do you still want to credit the leave for that month? That you can, yeah. In case no, then you can just, so here I want to put a restriction saying 18th. Okay. So this means whoever joins after the 18th of the month, right, they will not be getting leave for that month. Next month, of course, the next month they will get the leave. In that joining month, they will not get it. Now, can reporting manager award paid leave credits to the employee? So this is something when, if the reporting manager can award credits, it means they can go to the employee profile and they can credit certain leaves. In the end of the session, let's see how this also works. So if we put as no, right, even though it is put as no, the admin can do it. The global admin and HR can do it. The moment it is put as yes, reporting manager also can credit, award leave credits. Okay, so that's the end of the first step. Any questions on this? All right, then we'll move to the second, that is leave accrual. Yeah. How is available leave balance of an employee calculated? Okay. Let me check if there are any questions. Okay, no questions. All right. Next is, how is available leave balance of an employee calculated? So the first one says entire annual quota can be availed at a time. Let's check. Let's consider the example of maternity leave. Okay, maternity leave or a paternity leave, of course, entire balance should be should be made available at once, right? We cannot have a policy where you can take one a month or two a month, or 30 days at once, or things like that, right? So in that cases, you can have probably entire leave quota can be availed at once. So the moment I select this, the 24 leaves we had put there, right, all the 24 will be made available for the employees to apply. But if you have a policy where no, these are accrued at certain intervals, you can have 3 intervals, that is monthly, quarterly, and half yearly. So if I select monthly first, on the first of every month, 2 leaves will get credited. That is, we have 12 months, right? So it gets divided 2 per month. If I select quarterly, every quarter, on the first day of the quarter, they get it. If I select half yearly, 12 leaves get credited. Am I making sense? So that's how, if you have an accrual policy in place, then you can select leave is accrued at certain intervals. You can define. And when should the leave be credited? It could be first day or last day or any day in between. Depending on your policy, you can configure this. Now, what happens to the leave quota when an employee joins the company in the middle of the calendar year? Right. Makes sense. Now, leave accrual is prorated based on the joining date. That is, if I join in June, that is after 6, or if I join in July, that is 6 months has already passed. So I am actually eligible only for 12 days, not entire 24 days. Correct? So in that case, you should select leave accrual is prorate based on the joining date. Otherwise, if you have a policy where leave is credited in the joining month based on the date employee has joined. So let's understand how this works. If the joining date is between, say, the 1st and 10th, then I want to credit 1 day of leave. And if the joining date is between, say, 10th to 20th, then I am okay to give 1.5 days. So if you have certain settings, that also, see, to and from dates are overlapping. So from the 11th day. From the 11th day to the 20th, 1.5 days leaves are allotted to the employee. You can configure that way. Otherwise, you can just go with leave based on the joining date, leave can be prorated. Next, what happens? Okay, this joining is fine, but when the employee is exiting, say I joined in Jan, I nicely got all the 24 leaves. I'm exiting in March or say April or something. So what should happen? So leave is prorated based on the actual exit date. If you select this, depending on the exit date also, leave can be prorated, right? Leave can be prorated based on the exit date also. Again, it's the same. It's similar setting what we have seen here, right? Based on the exit date also, we can allot leaves. Next, no change in accrual. Employee gets full month accrual regardless of the exit date. Which if I select this, irrespective of my last date, right, my exit date, I will get my monthly 2 leaves because we have selected accrual, right? Monthly 2 leaves, I will get it. Otherwise, depending on my last date, it will get prorated and credited for me. Now, does leave accrual vary based on probation period or experience? So, because it's a paid leave, right? If you have a policy where no people in okay, just give me a second. Okay, exit, is it? All right. I'll just once again walk you through the exit. Yeah. So I hope when an employee joins in the middle of the company was clear, right? Now, what happens to the leave quota when an employee exits in the middle of the calendar year? So, which means, so my leave calendar year is January to December. I have joined in Jan. But if I'm exiting in, say, December, or if I'm exiting on the 2nd or 3rd of June or July, but on the 1st, if I select no change in accrual, employee gets full month accrual. What did we select here? We selected monthly first. Means every month I am entitled to get 2 leaves. Correct? So if I put no change in accrual, even though my exit date is, say, July 3rd or July 4th and July 5th, I will get 2 leaves, 2 full leaves I will get. But the moment we select leave is prorated, depending on the number of days I have, my leave will get calculated automatically, prorated, and then credited to me. Otherwise, if you select leave is updated based on date of month, then if I select if exit date is between the 1st and 5th, then you don't want to give leave. If the employee is exiting between the 1st and 5th of the month, I don't want to give any leave. Or no, till the 10th, I don't want to give any leave. Next, if the employee is exiting between 11th and the 20th, or 11th till last day of the month, then I can give 2 days, or depending on the last day. So this is how it can be configured as well. I hope it was clear now. Yes, no, maybe. All right, perfect. Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah. So that's how leave can be prorated. Now, does leave accrual vary based on experience, probation period or experience? So if we say, again, as we said, right? So if the leave type is such that only not if people in probation should not get all entire quota or things like that, then you can select yes. Accrual varies based on experience of the employee. then you can just select yes. And from when does the accrual start? If we select 0 days after joining, which means immediately after joining. And if we select 0 days after probation ends, that is after the probation period ends, what happens? So I will select 0 days after joining, and here we can define accrual rate. So here I will say, so my annual quota is actually 24, right? But during probation, I don't want to give 2 leaves a month to the employee. I only want to give 1 day a month. That is 12 days. So during probation, if you have a policy where although the quota is 20, 24, but during probation, you don't want to give the entire 24 to the employee, then you can just select how many ever leaves are applicable during probation. If you want to accrue only 1 day, 1 leave a month, then you can just define your accrual rate accordingly. Make sense? Yeah. So if we have selected entire annual quota at the start of the year, yes, Shipa, we'll address that in the end once we finish this step. Okay, now, is leave accrual impacted by employees' attendance or number of days worked every month? So this means we actually also can create a dependency for leave, credit or accrual depending on the working days. Got it. So it's me. If the moment I select yes, leave is prorated based on actual number of working days, right? Then depending on the number of working days in that particular period, leave will be credited to them. Here, for the purpose of accrual based on attendance of the employees, how do you consider weekly off or holidays? Okay, I'll try to repeat this. Is the leave accrual impacted by the attendance or number of working days worked every month? If we select no, say for example, I worked only for 10 days in that month, still I will get my 2 leaves. I will get my quota accrual for that month. But if I select yes, then I will not get my complete 2 leaves. Depending on my number of working days, system will calculate how much is it for the number of days worked. Then I'll get my leave credit. For the purpose of accrual based on attendance of employees, how do you consider? Do you consider weekly off as absent? For the purpose of attendance, if the employee is present at least for 0 days in a month. Okay. So what this means is that do not consider weekly off as absent. So if for the purpose of attendance, if the employee is if the employee is absent for say 3 days of the month, if the employee is not absent, sorry, if the employee is present at least for 3 days of the month, then weekly off is not considered as absent. I hope that was clear. Yeah. So if the employee is the moment we select 0, right? No leave, no matter how many days the employee is present or not, weekly off is not considered as absent. Same goes with holiday as well. Now, can employee apply leave for a future date based on leave accrual projected as of that date? So what this means is, okay, I am sitting in Jan now. Okay, in Jan, I got my 2 leaves on the first day of the month. Okay, I want to apply for a leave in March. Now, can employee apply for leave for a future date based on? So, what does the first setting say? Employee can avail the leave balance accrued as of the day for which leave is being applied, which means I can, because by March, I will have 4 more leaves credited to me, right? If we select yes, then they can avail the balance in advance. But if we select as no, right, employee is limited to the accrued balance. Means on Jan 1st, I only have 2 leaves. But if the moment this is put as no, right, I will be limited only to my accrued balance so far. But if we put it as yes, but I want to apply for a leave in say February. In February, I will get right 2 more leaves. So I'll have 4 more leaves. So in that case, if we select as yes, then they can, in advance they can apply. But if we put it as no, they will be limited to the balance they currently have. currently accrued balance they will be limited to. Right. Can employees apply for leave beyond their accrued balance? Yeah. So if I put it as yes, and if I put it as 2, this means yes, employee can go beyond their accrued balance, but no more than 2 days and not exceeding their annual quota. So you may have a situation where you do not want to, because leave is not credited as on that day, you may not want to limit the possibility of the employee to apply for leave. In that case, right? In that case, you can, the moment you put here 2 more days, my available balance will become 4, which means I can avail the 2 leaves I have as on today accrued on the first of this month, plus I can go above and beyond for 2 more days. But does this mean that I'm getting additional balance? No, I'm still limited to my annual quota. But I can consume 2 more leaves than what is already accrued. Or if you do not want them, then you can select no employee is limited to their accrued balance and they cannot go beyond it. Now, do not accrue leave balance when the total leave balance, including carry forward, etc., exceeds so and so days. Say in the case of paid leave, say if you have certain policy where more than if an employee has, so I want to create a policy where if the employee is having 24 leaves from previous year carry forward or whatever, from previous year carry, what my entire balance is 24, the moment my balance is 24, I do not want to give additional leave to the employee, right? So in that case, you can stop the accrual altogether, saying if the leave balance of the employee exceeds so and so days, right, you can choose this option to not accrue leaves. The moment this balance reduces, accrual will automatically start again. I hope this was clear. Can you explain this one more time? Okay, all right, I think that's handled. Right. Now, do not accrue leave if an employee is on any leave for more than dash days in the previous month. Say I was on a vacation in the month of I was on a vacation and I already applied some other leave I have, say annual leave or some other leave. And in that case, do you still have, if you have a policy where because I was on a leave for more than 5 days in the previous month, do not accrue leave, you can configure this as well. It's not mandatory, but if you have such policy saying, if the employee has taken X number of leaves in the previous month and you don't want to accrue new leave the coming month, then you can select this option. Next, so this is irrespective of the calendar year. Okay, so December I happily enjoyed all my leaves. January also this rule will be applicable. Okay. When applying for a leave, if the leave balance is in decimals, do you want to round off? Okay, so this typically means while I'm trying to apply for a leave, we should have sometimes we have leave balances in decimals. So what do you want to do for that? To those decimals, you can leave them as is. That is saying, no, do not round off the decimal, or you can round off to a nearest half day, or you can nearest round off to full day, or next available full day, or the previous available half day. I hope this was clear. So nearest half day typically means, as the help text says, if the balance is 0.2, it will be rounded off to 0. If it is 0.3, it will go to 0.5. Then next available half day means if the balance is of 0.1 to 0.5, will go to 0.5. 0.6 and more will go to 1 day of leave. And next available half day is also that only. Round off to next available full day is, even if my balance is 0.2, it will go to 1 leave. Next available half day is that. Next, does the leave credit, including accrual, comp off, and other manual credit, expire after some time? If you have a policy where no, within 6 months this leave should be consumed, Otherwise, it will expire. In that case, I'll just put a restriction saying, yes, leave will expire after 180 days. So the leave I am getting on Jan 1st, I am expected to consume it within 180 days. If you don't have that policy, generally we have this leave setting for comp offs. So comp offs should be availed within, 45 days or 60 days or things like that. Otherwise, they'll expire. You can use this setting for that. Otherwise, if you don't have such policy, you can just select no leaves don't expire. Now, so we have completed leave accrual. I hope that was clear. So can we move to the next stage? Perfect. All right. Yeah. Applying for leave. So applying for leave, right? So here we are trying to define the clauses. So when an employee is trying to apply for leave, they ask question, right? Can I apply today, immediately, urgently? All of that. So first question says allow applying for half day. So if it's a yes, it's a simple yes. It's a no, it's a no. So generally we have a no for, sometimes people have it for earned leave or annual leaves or maternity, paternity, all of that. They generally take a full day, right? In that case, you can put a no. For a casual leave, sick leave, and all of that, you can have a yes. Allow employees to see and apply for leave. If we select it as yes, employee can go to their leave, me and leave and apply by themselves. If you don't want them to do that, then you have to select no. Employees cannot apply. But HR manager and reporting manager, if employee reaches out to you guys, you can apply on their behalf. Now, then this is the notice. How soon can an employee apply for leave? So if the duration is more than 1 calendar year, so this is the leave duration we are talking about. If the leave duration is more than X number of calendar years, how many calendar days? So if the leave duration is more than 3 days, then I need 2 calendar days notice. And in these calendar days notice, how many working days? So I think it's a very simple and straightforward setting. So if you want to have multiple, saying for if it's more than 1 calendar year, 1 calendar day, then I need 2 days of notice. If it is 3 calendar days, then I need 2 calendar days of notice and things like that, at least 1 working day. So you can configure it accordingly. And how early? Can I apply leave, now in June or something? No, right? So how soon can a leave be applied? So if you don't want them to apply any time sooner than say 15 days, 15 calendar days. So today is the 18th, right? So ideally I should be able to apply leave only till the July 1st to 2nd, to the 2nd or 3rd, only 15 days from today. Okay. Check restrictions that are applicable for backdated leave. So can employee apply for a backdated leave? Yes or no? And if yes, how many calendar days back they can apply? Do not allow applying leave on the last day of the month. If you don't want them to apply on the last day of the month or after 26th of every month, you can check this option. Is comment mandatory? If you want them to give a comment, add a comment while applying for a leave, yes. Otherwise, it's a no. Then do you require a document or a proof? So generally for sick leave, it again depends on your policy. Like if you want to have a document, if say it's a sick leave and they are trying to avail say 5 leaves or 4 leaves, in that case, I want to say if the requires an attachment, if the leave exceeds 3 calendar days, then you can have that setting. If you don't require, then just it's a simple no. Next is leave restrictions. Leave restrictions. So a new joinee employee can apply for a leave. When can they apply for a leave? The moment we select 0 days after probation ends, that is only after the probation ends, they can actually apply for a leave. Otherwise, they'll get a warning saying during probation period, this leave cannot be availed. If you put 0 days, so if you have a clause saying no, people in probation also can apply, then you can go for 0 days after joining, or if it's for everybody, irrespective of the joining days, they can apply only after 1 month after joining, or say 3 months after joining. In that case, you can just configure accordingly. But does this mean that we can also restrict people in probation? Yes. We have a checkbox here, right? Do not allow employees to avail more than dash number of leaves during probation period. So I am generous enough. Like, theek hai bhai, you can take have leave immediately after joining, 0 days after joining. But during the probation period, I don't want candidates on probation to take more than 3 leaves during the entire probation period, be it 2 months or 3 months or whatever. I only want them to take 3 leaves. Then you can just select this option. Do not allow employees to avail 3 days of leave during the probation. Next, is there a limit on the consecutive days? So this means how many consecutive days at once can they apply for this leave. If there's no limit, then they can just if there's no limit, all the available leave balance can be used at a time. So if I have 4 leaves, all the 4 I can use. No, if only 2 leaves can be applied at once, then you can just select 2 as well. This is consecutive days in the while applying for a leave. Now, is there a limit on the maximum number of leave balance that can be availed in that month? Say on the 3rd and 4th, I took 2 leaves. Again, I want to take on the 17th and 18th. Can I do that, or can I apply it if I have enough balance? Or in a particular calendar month, I am only allowed to take 3 leaves. In that case, you can put a restriction saying, I can take 1 at a time, 2 at a time. That's up to me. But overall, in a month, I can take only 3 leaves. Next, can an employee notice period apply for a leave? So somebody who had submitted their resignation, are you still allowing, if you still allow them to apply for a leave, then you can select yes. Or if you don't want them to apply, then say no. But even if they apply, does this extend their notice period? Say I have a notice period of 30 days. So I have taken 3 leaves. So does this mean that I have to extend those 3 days? You can define it here. So if we put 1 times, right? Given the notice period extends by 1 times means if I have taken 3 leaves, I have to extend 3 days. If I put 2 times, twice, I have to extend 6 days. Can manager override leave restrictions? So this means we have put all these restrictions, right? Manager, the moment we select yes, manager will have the ability to override all of these restrictions and apply leave on behalf of the employee. Next, check all the leave restrictions. So besides these also, we have some more restrictions. Let's see what they are. Enforce a minimum gap of dash calendar days between 2 requests. That is how many between 2 requests, how many days calendar day difference do you want? If I select 10 days, 10 calendar days is required. Next, do not allow more than dash instances in the leave calendar year. For example, in a leave calendar year, you want employees to avail annual leave only thrice. Then you can just select 3. Next, in a calendar month also this restriction can be put, and not just that, in the entire tenuity. So I believe we have something like this 2 instances in case of maternity leave and paternity leave, things like that, right? So accordingly, it can be in the entire tenuity, they can only avail this leave twice. Then do not allow availing less than dash days of leave in a single instance. So when the total, yeah, as I said, right, if the total balance, if I say the balance is more than 24, and at least 5 days of leave should be applied in a single instance. Otherwise, I don't want them to apply. If you have such restrictions, you can put it. Then restrict employees from applying for a leave from the last day of every month. It's a similar restriction which we've seen. Next, this leave, if you don't want this leave to be taken with a different type of leave, see, for example, a maternity leave should not be taken with a casual leave or a sick leave or a paid leave. In that case, you can just select this leave cannot be taken along with what type of leave. This is for your reference, you can configure. And this leave cannot be is not available when the balance is, say if you have balance in floater leave, then this means unless my floater leave balance is exhausted, I cannot apply for paid leave. Make sense? Yeah. So these are the leave restrictions we have. Yeah. Next is holidays and weekly offs. That's nothing but a sandwich policy. So ideally, we have a sandwich policy for statutory leaves and long leaves, that is annual leaves in certain cases. So that means if a holiday is adjoining the leave, is it considered a leave? If there is no sandwich policy, right? For example, sick leave, casual leave, ideally there's no sandwich policy there. In that case, you can just select no and no. But if there's a yes, This means, yes, holidays accompanying leave is treated as leave when the total number of leave includes 0 calendar days. This means every leave. Now, how does the sandwiching work? If the leave is right between two, if the holiday is right between two leave days, that is, if I have, if my holiday is falling on a Friday and I took a leave on Thursday and Saturday, then the moment I select this, the day in between, the holiday in between is also considered a leave. Then if the leave day is right before the holiday, that is, the leave is, my holiday is on Friday, my leave is on Thursday. So if I'm applying for a leave on Thursday, both the days are considered. It's the same, right after a holiday. So, and here the setting says if the leave day is before or after or in between. That is in all three possible cases. That is, leave can be before the holiday or after the holiday or in between the holiday, right? In that case, we have, you can just select this. Now, next, do not consider leave holidays accompanying half-day leave. That is, say, if you have a setting where employees can avail a half day, if they're taking only a half day, you can just select this option saying, because they have taken a half day, no sandwiching will not be applied. Now, the same settings also apply for a week off as well. If a week off is adjoining the leave, be it before or after or in between two leave days, then this setting can be put. Now, do you want to club sandwich policy across leave types? Again, this is an interesting setting. So what will happen? So I have taken a casual leave on Thursday. I have a holiday, I have one day in between. Again, after that, I have another leave type. So if you want to club, if you want the sandwich policy to apply between two different leave types, right, then you can just select yes, club sandwich policy across the leave types. Otherwise, no, do not. Ideally, we generally don't have sandwich policy across leave types, but if you have it, then you can just select it as yes. So that's about the leave sandwich policy settings. Next, we will move to approval chain. So like any other approval chain, we have an approval chain here as well. So does this require an approval? Of course it does. And you can define certain levels. You can add people directly, and you can just configure your approval. So when I have two levels, right? Once this leave is applied, first it will go to the reporting manager. Then it will go to the L2 manager. After that, the leave will be considered approved. Got it? Then we have a setting that says auto approve and skip this level. So it has been 7 days, but reporting manager has not applied for, has not approved this leave yet. Then this level will be skipped and it will go to the next level. Now, see, these are certain notification settings. So the first one says auto approve in case there is no reporting manager available, for this person, or the person exited or did not register with Keka. If that person did not register with Keka, then you can just click on auto approve or skip. Then every time there's a leave request, right, they'll get an email notification. If you want to pause such notification, just click on pause here. Next, we are on the final stage now. That is what happens at the end of the year. Now that we have configured all possible settings and everything we have given, employees have also availed these leaves. But at the end of the year, they'll have certain balances, right? Maybe some of you also might have certain encashment policies. All of that has to be decided in this last step, that is year-end processing. What happens to the leave balances at the end of the year? If it's a sick leave or a casual leave, generally they expire. So you can just select all leave balances expire or get reset. Now, all leave balances get paid to the employee means, depending on your leave encashment policy, employee will be paid when the year-end processing is done. Next, all leave balances get carried forward to the next year. So say I have 10 leaves. Of the 24 leaves, I used only 14. I have 10. If we select all leave balances get for carry forward, my next year opening balance will be 10 plus whatever is accrued in that month. Next, pay first and then carry forward the remaining. So this means you want to, if the balance is more than certain number, you will pay X up to X number of days and then carry forward the rest. Let's consider the same example. Say I have 10 leaves. Okay, if the balance, I will select if the balance is more than, say, 0 days, pay up to 10 days and carry forward. I only want to carry forward up to 10 more days. So this means up to 10 days I will be paid and I will have a remaining of 4 days, right? Those 4 days will be carry forward. Make sense? Now this, that is pay first and then carry forward the remaining. Here you can choose fixed number of days or a percentage of the remaining leave as well. So if the balance is more than X number, pay how much percent? I want to pay 50% of the remaining leave and carry forward the 50%. That also can be done. Otherwise, you can just go with simple fixed number of days. So if you have a policy where no only 10 leaves get carried forward, you can choose that. Now, carry forward first and pay remaining. As I said, right? So if you want to carry forward only up to, say, you have a tolerance level of 15. So up to 15 leaves can be carried forward. The rest, whatever the balance is, it will be paid to the employee, and pay up to how many days to the employee. So that can be selected from here. Does the carry forward leave, say up to 15 days can be carried forward, right? 10 of my leaves got carried forward like that. Now what will happen? Do they expire? Should I avail them before a particular time? In that case, you can put it as yes. So if I put 180, right, in my new calendar year, my fresh year, my new year, within June, in my next year, I should be utilizing all these leaves. Otherwise, they get expired. If you don't have that policy, no carry forward leave do not expire after a certain time. Now we have seen a similar setting in step 2 as well. It says any leave that has expiry date either through previous carry forward or expiring setting and under step 2 remains unchanged. You can just select this. What happens to the negative leave? Correct. So earlier we have seen, right, we can go a little up to more than the annual quota. That means, what does it mean that an employee has negative balance? It means that I have gone beyond my annual quota and have availed the leaves. My annual quota is 24, but I have taken 26 leaves. That is, I took 2 leaves more, right? So what should happen to those minus negative balance, 2 negative balance? What should happen? So is it deducted from salary? Means at the end of the year, once the processing is done, LOP of 2 days will be deducted. Then nullify and reset to 0 means we are just letting it go. Carry forward the negative balance to the following year means that negative balance will be carried forward and will get reset as and when leave get accrued. Yeah. So that's about leave year-end processing as well. So we have successfully configured the leave type, and yeah. Then so currently no employees assigned this leave type, right? So let's just assign this leave type to any employee. So we have Javed. So I'll just go to his job section, and I'll try to change his leave type. I'll give him webinar leave and effective from the 1st of June. See, now this person is assigned webinar leave type. So I'll just go to his time, his leave. See, there's no data available yet. Okay, so this is how. So through employee job section, leave plan can be assigned to him or her. All right, so that brings us to the end of this. Okay, I believe there are certain questions. How can custom document and okay. Okay, so initially we had leave policy explanation, right? So leave settings we have seen. How to create a custom document, how to add if you have a leave policy, how to add it. Say I have a policy here. I will just select upload custom leave policy and I'll try to import any random document here. So I just added a document called dummy PDF. I'll just update it. Now, how can employees see this document? So when employee, so any employee can understand their leave policy explanation from their time. If they go to me and leave, right, under their leave section, they can actually see their leave policy explanation. If they click on leave policy explanation, this is something generated by Keka. Okay, this is something generated by Keka. But if you have, I have just uploaded a document, right? The moment they click on that, they will be prompted to this PDF. I hope you're able to see my screen, right? Yeah. So this is how they will be able to. You can also attach your document, and then they will be able to see it. So that's pretty much about it. So we have successfully added leave plan and configured one entire leave. So you can just go through the settings, and accordingly, we've covered most of the almost every possible situation for different types of leaves. So in that case, you can configure accordingly. If it's like a loss of pay or something, in that case, the balance would be infinity, right? So we do have already unpaid leave created in the system, which is loss of pay. So that can be used for this purpose. So I'll just stop sharing my screen for now, and let's see if we have any questions. If we have selected entire annual quota at the start of the year, we want the leave. Okay. Okay, let me share my screen again. I believe you can see my screen, right? Yeah. So here it says if we have selected entire leave quota, okay, at the start, and we want the leave accrue till the date of resignation when the employee. Okay. So I am assuming, uh, Shilpa, you are talking that there is no leave accrual in place, entire annual quota is available. Now, what will happen when an employee exits? Right? Sure. So in that case, you can just select entire annual quota is available. Then here you still have when and how what happens. You can still select. You will have the same settings. Leave is prorated based on the actual exit date. So my leave balance, right? My leave balance will be uh, automatically adjusted depending on my exit date. It's the settings are the same, Shilpa. There's no major changes such. It's just that instead of allotting the leaves at an interval, you are giving them all at once. As a part of, is there any option we can move applied leave? Let's say somebody is on a sabbatical leave. Will there be an update when we search for such employee to get to know they are on unpaid leave for so and so period? Yes, Raghav. So basically, I think you are referring to how do we know who's on what leave type? So we have certain reports, right? In reports, you can just go for leave request report. In leave request report, you can just select the date range, and you can select the leave type, and you will have the list of employees who are under a particular leave type within the selected date range. It can be assigned from employees job section, Manish. Yeah. All right, then that brings us to the end of the session. Thank you so much again for joining. Stay safe, and you can reach out. So this recording will be made available soon. So you can reach out to us if you want that, and if you have any question, you can reach out to our support channels as well. Okay. Stay safe again. Thank you so much.